I think it's going to be a very, very close game, but I do think the Patriots, just based on experience and the home field advantage in Foxborough, will win. I can see the Bills winning a game or two in the playoffs.
I think Ravens is obviously a lock. They're going to make it most likely to the Super Bowl.
The NFC Championship, I actually have two teams playing in the wild card weekend in there, in the Saints and the Seahawks.
I see a little bit of magic left in TB12. I think he'll get them to the conference championship. Somehow, we're back after our terrible predictions from 2 weeks ago, but we're still better than Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd, so we're still employed here. So we're going to recap the games from the divisional round, and we'll get into our new conference champions and Super Bowl picks. All right, the first game we had was the Ravens and the Titans.
All right, so I don't really think anybody saw this coming. Anyone who watched football doesn't even watch football. Titans came out with a strong lead. They wanted to get the run offense going early, and that's exactly what they did. Derrick Henry was a force to be reckoned with, like he was for the remainder last of the season. Lamar also got off to a slow start, but he did break some records. He was the first ever player, I think, with 300 plus passing yards and 100 plus rushing yards. So that was nice. It wasn't a great game for Lamar Jackson. It also wasn't a terrible game. The biggest issue was the wide receiver core. A lot of drops, a lot of inconsistencies, and I think that was a real downfall of the Ravens this game.
Next, we had the Chiefs and the Texans. And that game started out, looked like the Texans were going to blow out the Chiefs at home. The Chiefs were going to blow it again with a chance at home. And they were up 24-0 early in the second quarter. But back came storming the Chiefs. They scored a touchdown on 7 straight possessions. Patrick Mahomes had 5 passing touchdowns, 388 yards in the air. They ended up winning 51-31 in one of the, I'd say, most high-powered playoff games we've seen in a while. And that was a good Texans team they came back against. It's hard to think that it was ended up being a 20-point game. But I think from now on, the Chiefs are going to have a lot of momentum after that comeback. Next, we have the Seahawks and the Packers.
So the Seahawks and the Packers was a close game, as expected. Two very good teams, very experienced quarterbacks. Both have a lot of playoff experience as well. Packers obviously ended up coming up with the win, which was, I'd say, expected by a lot, just because of, especially by Gumpel over here, because that was his pick to win the whole thing. But Davante Adams showed his worth. Aaron Rodgers did what he had to do, and they pulled it out in the end.
Lastly, we have the 49ers versus the Vikings.
Kirk Cousins, we knew he was going to have a tall task going into San Francisco and beating the 49ers, but it was a pretty even first half. It finished 14-10. San Francisco was up 4. But in the second half, the Vikings failed to get any points on the board, and the 49ers offense just put up enough points to get the job done.
There's 4 teams left in the playoffs. We're going to go over what each team needs to do to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in February. Gumpel, we'll start with you. Your prediction, you're the only one that has your Super Bowl champion left. What do the Packers need to do to win the Lombardi Trophy?
They just need to stay consistent on offense. The Aaron Rodgers offense has been doing pretty well with Davante Adams. He had a great game last week. I think if the defense can step up and stop the 49ers run game in the NFC Championship, and then go with, I think, who will be the Chiefs in Super Bowl. I think if they can just do the same again and just stop the run and stop the air offense and all around just tighten up on defense, I think they should be fine. This is the best defensive Packers team we've seen in a long time. So I think they have a real chance of pulling through and making it to the Super Bowl, then potentially winning it.
Shout out Rashawn Gary.
Going against them in the NFC Championship, the 49ers, I said in the beginning or in the last podcast, they're the best team in the NFC. I didn't think they'd be able to win the championship with the Saints in the way, but now that the Saints are gone, I think that run game, you have a different running back every game who looks to be the lead back. Last week it was Tevin Coleman. Some other weeks it's been Mozart. But, you know, Jimmy G, he hasn't really put up gaudy stats, but he's done what he's needed to do at the quarterback position. And that defense has been amazing all year. I think if they can shut down the Packers offense just a little bit, I think they'll be able to get it done, because that Packers defense, like Gumbel said, it has been better than it's been in the past, but I do think there are some weak spots in there, and I think the Niners will be able to get it done if they get established their running attack early in this game and the Super Bowl and can keep their defense stout.
The Titans have another tall task going into Kansas City to face the red hot Chiefs. I think what they're gonna have to limit Patrick Mahomes and that hot Chiefs offense. They need to make sure that I think they need to let them score 21 points or less in the game. I think if you let Derrick Henry go to work on offense, I think he's gonna open up the passing game, and I think the Titans offense could put up enough points to get the job done.
I think out of the AFC, I think the Chiefs are definitely the favorite to come out, but to do so, I think they have to start early. They can't let this Titans defense run over them like the Texans did early, because I don't think they will come back as easily as the Titans. They're a well-coached team. They have very good defense. And again, they have to watch out for Derrick Henry early. I think the offense also has to be on from the start. Patrick Mahomes has to start hot from the get-go, and Travis Kelce has to do his thing for the Chiefs to go on and eventually try to win the Super Bowl.
So we're going to try this again. Conference championships here. We're going to do some predictions. Hopefully we do a little bit better than last time. We got less teams to pick from, so hopefully we can get it done, be a little more accurate than we were before. But if you're watching this and you want to place a bet on who we think is going to win, don't do that, because you're probably going to lose. So, Owen, who's winning the NFC Championship?
The NFC Championship, I'm going to take the 49ers. I think the 49ers are a really, really good team all around, offensively, defensively, have a very good coach. I think that, that this year they really showed that they're experienced. I mean, I know Jimmy G's never really had that much playoff experience himself on the field, but he's been around the Super Bowl a lot. He's been around this a lot, so I think the 49ers are going to come out with this one.
In the NFC Championship, I have the Packers coming out. I think Aaron Rodgers just has more experience overall than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think overall the Packers are a more playoff experienced team. I think they're more hardened. They're more tough-nosed. I think they'll come out and try to shut down the 49ers' run offense. I think they'll do a pretty good job of that. And then Devontae Adams will do another good job against Richard Sherman. That's going to be a big matchup, but I think I have Devontae Adams coming on top on that one.
I have to disagree with you. Like I said before, the 49ers defense has been stout all year. Aaron Jones last week, 21 carries for about 64 yards. It's like about 3 yards a carry. If he runs like that against San Francisco, it's not going to work out for them, because the Packers are going to need to throw the ball to move it on offense. And if you let Nick Bosa come at you, if Aaron Rodgers drop back to pass 45 times, Nick Bosa is going to get there for sure, and the rest of that Niners defense. I think their offense will be able to do enough to beat the Packers. I expect a really close game now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I don't see the 49ers losing this game. Both defenses have been having a great year, but I just think the 49ers defense, like Ryan said, is just too powerful. It's going to be a game of who can score the most points, obviously, but I think that's going to be a bit. The offense is going to be a big determinant of that. I think Jimmy Garoppolo has to get off to a nice start, and then I think the 49ers will come away with it.
Who wins the AFC Championship?
For me, I'm going to pick the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is very good. We saw that last week when he decided he wanted to turn on, he turned on. So I think that the Chiefs will come out in this one. Travis Kelce's been on fire. The defense, was good after the first quarter, I would say, or maybe say second half. But I think the Chiefs will come out in this one and probably eventually win it.
All right. I'm going to go with the Titans here. Chiefs have a lot of momentum going in, but I would say the Titans have more. They just got two very, very big back-to-back wins. I think Derrick Henry feels like he's on top of the world right now. He feels like he can't be stopped. and I think he's going to run right through the Chiefs. I would say lackluster offense. You know, they're not horrible this year, but I would say they're probably a little bit below average. I think that Derrick Henry's going to step up, rush for easily 100 plus, at least a touchdown, and carry the Titans to an overtime victory win.
The Chiefs should win this game because they're by far the more talented team, as were the Ravens. I guess the Patriots maybe not as talented, but they still should have won that game. But the Titans have just been finding a way to win. The Chiefs and the Titans are the two hottest teams in football right now. The Titans actually beat the Chiefs in the regular season. I think that the Titans defense will be able to slow down the Chiefs offense. And like Gumpel said, that Chiefs defense is lackluster. They haven't seen anyone like Derrick Henry. I expect another big game from Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill to need to make the throws when he needs to, like he has been all playoffs. If it's a 3rd and 7, you can't really run with Derrick Henry, but I think Ryan Tannehill will be able to get the first down on a play like that. I think it'll be an ugly game by the Chiefs standards, but I do think the Titans will win.
Yeah, I'm really torn between this game. I really think if the Titans defense has a good game, then and their offense can just go to work, I think they're gonna come away with the win. But then again, the Chiefs offense, we see how red hot they could get. Patrick Mahomes, he's almost unstoppable when he could get the ball moving. And I think you get the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands, and they're going to come away with the win. I have the Chiefs in this one.
All right, here we go for all the marbles. The Super Bowl, who's the champion?
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I said it before. I just think that, again, Patrick Mahomes is really just a great overall player. I mean, like Robert said, when he wants to get hot, he can get hot. He can run down the field. He can get touchdowns. So I think that he will come away with this one. I think that he wanted it last year. Just, didn't get it against the Patriots in the AFC Championship, but I think he'll come back and win it this time.
I'm going to stick to my roots here. Same as my last prediction. I'm taking the Packers again. I just think Aaron Rodgers overall will have more experience than Ryan Tannehill. Take an experienced, probably top 5 quarterback of all time, Aaron Rodgers, over Ryan Tannehill. I think the Packers front 7 is very nice and underrated. I think they'll do a great job of slowing down Henry and breaking off those 10-yard runs he likes so much. So I think overall it should be a very close game, but I think the Packers will take it.
The Super Bowl is going to be a ground and pound, old-fashioned style football game. 2 great run offenses with the Titans and the 49ers. It could be hot in Miami outside, so you never know how that's going to affect the game. But I do think the Niners will win just because I think their defense is a little bit better than that Titans defense. I don't expect a high-scoring game, but I expect Jimmy Garoppolo to play very well and win the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the 49ers as well. If it's a 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl, I think the 49ers defense is going to outplay the Chiefs offense, and I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be able to get the ball in the end zone enough to get the W.
That's it. Thanks for tuning in this season. Catch you.